What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, checking out a couple of brand new Link monsters that just got revealed. Both of these cards are going to be released in Rising Rampage, and the first card is actually a nice little pleasant surprise because it looks like we're going to be getting ourselves a second Charmer Link monster, which is really interesting. You guys know that we just got Hita in Savage Strike. Hita is actually seeing a good amount of meta play, and now we're going to be getting Win. I guess at this point, it's just my best guess. It seems like Konami is going to be giving us all the familiar possessed monsters in Link form. They did this with the Magic Ruler cards, you guys know, like a Shinigami and Witch's Apprentice. Konami slowly but surely turned every single one of them into Link monsters, and you know, they ended up releasing them set after set after set. It seems like they're going to kind of do the same thing here. I think they might be skipping Dark Neostorm, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no Charmer in that set. No Charmer that I know of anyways. Let's go ahead and break down Win the Win Charmer. Now, the thing about this card is, and this is probably the first time I've done this in maybe years, I'm not actually going to read the effect of this card, and the reason is this card is just honestly Hita but with Wind attribute. I mean, seriously, you could just take Hita. If you guys are familiar with that card, you could just replace the word wind, or replace the word fire with wind, and basically you have this card. Obviously replace the artwork, and it's essentially the same exact card. It's just for the wind attribute. And while Hita is an amazing card that I think if you're playing Salamangreats, you should be 100% playing. I've seen a lot of Sky Striker players play Hita as well. Hita is very useful because of kind of the makeup of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Hita in a Salamangreat mirror match is phenomenal because it allows you to summon like Gazelle or any of your opponent's Salamangreat monsters. If you're playing against just a normal meta deck, we all know Ash Blossom and Joy Spring is maybe the most popular card in the TCG. That's a card you can summon. You can go straight into a Link 3. Even against Sky Striker, you can like summon back their Kagari and go for a free Link 3, which is kind of cool. The problem is no one really runs like win monsters in the meta. I mean, Konami has shit on the win attribute for years, guys. Like, can you guys even think of the last meta win deck? I mean, you probably have to go back to like, I don't know, man, maybe like Yosenju and you know, something like Ritual Beast, because Ritual Beast a long time ago they made top 8 at like the NAWCQ. Yosenju topped some regionals. I guess you could say maybe Magispectors, but the problem is it's just they don't like, there's no win attributes that are good, and we know that the new support for Yosenju in Rising Rampage, it sucks. So for anybody out there saying, Cap G, Yosenjus are getting more support, I mean, you can believe all you want, but I don't think it's going to really do anything to make the deck meta. Also, another thing kind of hurting this card is the fact that we don't even have the win attribute Hand Trap Girl. Like, we don't have the Ghost Girl Hand Trap for win attribute, so that's just like another card that potentially, you know, you could have maybe used this to summon it back, but we're probably not getting that for at least another couple sets. Whatever set comes after Chaos Impact, I think maybe it might be in there, or maybe after the set after that. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this card is, you know, it's a good card in design. Unfortunately, it's just historically, like, it's in the historically weakest type in Yu-Gi-Oh, and that has been Win. Win hasn't really been meta for a very long time, so I don't know if this card can really do anything in the meta unless, I don't know, maybe in Chaos Impact we get some really good Win archetypes, but the name of the set is Chaos Impact, so, you know, Chaos generally means light and dark in Yu-Gi-Oh, so I definitely would not bank on it. Our second card is Defender of the Netherworld Labyrinth, and this is another retrain monster. This one is super old school because Guardian of the Labyrinth was a Metal Raiders card, so you're basically talking about a card that's like 17 years old, and yeah, Konami just remembered. They were like, hey, remember that card that's like over a decade and a half old that no one knows? Let's go ahead and make a new version of that. He used to be a normal monster, but now he's apparently a Link monster. Anyways, Defender of the Netherworld Labyrinth. This is a Link 2. It's an Earth Warrior monster, 1400 attack, so it's like okay for what you generally expect out of a Link 2. Guess he gained 400 attack power in, you know, the 17 years that the card was released. It requires 2 normal monsters to summon, which that might be a problem, but I can think of at least one deck that can use this. The second effect is a hard once per turn. Effect number 1, non-effect monsters you control gain 500 attack. Also, effect monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack. Okay, that's not bad, not like super great or anything. That's just, I would say that that's mildly adequate. Second effect is if this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can target one non-effect monster in your graveyard, special summon it. I think that effect is a little better probably than the first effect, but honestly, I just look at this card and it's once again like not a bad card, but this card's gonna have the same problem as Win. It's more or less the makeup of this card that just kind of makes it irrelevant. I mean, what could you really see summoning this? And yes, some people have said, oh Cap, I can use this in Blue Eyes or Dark Magician, but like, let's be real, even those archetypes that are based around one normal monster, when would you ever use two Dark Magicians to like summon this? I mean, you can make something way better. The same thing goes for like Blue Eyes. You'd never give up two Blue Eyes and not go for like a spicy rank 8 play and go for a Link 2. That just honestly wouldn't make any sense. The only deck out there that I could really see taking advantage of this, because there just aren't that many normal like archetypes. I mean, no, I wouldn't like, no, don't say Metaphors. Metaphors would never summon this over Electromite or like the, you know, like other Link monsters that are just like better. Or well, Metaphors can also just fusion summon. That would make more sense. The only deck that I could kind of see using this would be Ojama, because Ojama King really isn't that good, and plus like this is a Link 2. They can go into it fairly easily, and you can get multiple Ojamas on the field pretty easily, like pretty pain-free. So I could see Ojamas maybe using this card, but honestly, we just need more like normal archetypes. Konami kind of forgets normal monsters exist from time to time, and then every once in a while they'll throw them a bone and they'll give them like one random support card, and then it's like, well, come on, man, if you give me one support card a year, like I can't make a deck out of this. But I don't think that these cards are necessarily bad. I just think of the makeup that they have to work with is just kind of bad. But whatever you guys think of these two Link monsters, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.